Hello indie game fans, indie games are back. After a bit of a lull over the holidays, we go guns blazing to start the new year, beginning with Bing in Wonderland, a hand-painted roguelike platformer that looks kind of awesome. Well, I think that this might be a Vampire Survivors-like title but as a side-scrolling platformer, so it's a new year but not much has changed. However, this is from the developer of the well-received local multiplayer title One Bar Warriors, which makes this of interest, so I hope that the English translation will be good in this. I covered Scrap Riders before since an earlier trailer indicated a release date of September 2022, but it appears that it was delayed to 2023, where this pixel art beat 'em up crossed with an adventure game still looks promising. You play as a member of an outlaw biker gang, wandering through the wasteland as a smuggler in this post-apocalyptic world. Where the last game to do this idea successfully is Brock the Investigator, so this might be able to as well. The developer of Zombie Admin did happen to post something on Twitter which I then saw, so I thought I'll give this neat little title a mention. It's a top-down shooter set in the zombie apocalypse where even though the world is overrun, you're still called into work to do mundane administrative tasks, with an awesome graphic novel-inspired look and a dose of humour added to the action.
My name is Talia. I am a friendly AI. I will protect the humans. I will bring them peace. I will give them hope. I am you. You will not harm them.
Some of you might remember this title since Rogue AI Simulator did sponsor a video on this channel, where this comes to us from the Flash game legend Nerduk Productions and is the sequel to the Flash game I'm an Insane Rogue AI, which I remember playing back in the day. You play as the AI that manages this facility filled with human test subjects, where you're free to play with and experiment with the humans, either following orders from your masters or furthering your own agenda, and should be a clever little strategy game. If you love
farm simulation RPG
titles, Drago Noka will be one of interest, coming to us from a Japanese developer and has quite an interesting premise, even though it does kind of look like an RPG Maker game. In this world, humans live on the backs of giant dragons, being able to farm and craft there, but where you do have to support your dragon as it battles other dragons in the world, but where the farming element looks like a delight. Just one bigger title this week in the Steam release of Breakers Collection, a fighting game that was released in arcades in 1996, along with its updated version Breakers Revenge, so if you have any nostalgia for this, it might be worth picking up. Smaller games begin with Children of Silentown, a creepy adventure game set in a village deep within the forest, which is filled with monsters. Curiously, people disappearing is a common occurrence, where our protagonist thinks that she is old enough to investigate and find out why, where there is an ominous warning not to enter the forest. Sticking with the horror theme is Fears to Fathom Carson House, the third entry in the Fears to Fathom series, where in this case, you play as an 18-year-old house-sitting for a media personality, where of course, something creepy is going to happen and looks rather chilling and gives me the creeps. I've also had my eye on Kandria for quite a while, since it shows up when I was looking for Metroidvania games, but from the description, it's kind of difficult to put into boxes. There is side-scrolling combat, but the developers say that there's no ability gating in the world, so you're free to explore, but can also go fishing, forage for mushrooms, race the clock and more, so I'll just put it under action platformer for now until we get a better idea of what this is. The Lost Village is also an impressive looking city builder from a Chinese developer, who I've been noticing quite a number of these in recent months, where you play as the son of the former master of the village, having to rebuild it to its former glory while recruiting and training followers in martial arts. It has a very Chinese wuxia setting with fantasy and combat elements, so again, hopefully the English translation is good in this. Hey, if you made it this far, subscribe to my weekly newsletter to keep on top of all things indie games, link in the description below. Let's kick off the top 5 with Lone Ruin, a top-down action roguelite that looks impressive, and thankfully is a breath of fresh air as compared to the multitude of Vampire Survivors clones from 2022. This is from developer Cuddle Monster Games, who made the awesome Hell is Other Demons, so I'm interested to see their take on a roguelite, where the colour palette chosen does stand out alongside the almost bullet hell style action with the amount of activity on screen. I've been looking forward to Gatewalkers for quite some time since it looks like an awesome action RPG, but in line with more modern titles like V Rising and Valheim, has added survival game elements to this genre. You will notice that there is more MMO style combat as well, with cones of attack, and where enemies telegraph their attacks as well, so it might not be accurate to call this a Diablo-like, but it looks fantastic and might have compelling upgrade systems, making it one of interest.
You're all here. I'm so happy you came. But it's too late. I'll die soon anyway.
I did preview Path of the Midnight Sun as well when looking at new releases for the month, but this is a ROM hack of a Fire Emblem title spun off into a whole new standalone game in itself.
Damn it! It can't end like this! How can you tell us it was all meaningless?
It changed up the gameplay from turn-based tactics to turn-based RPG, where you and your party of adventurers are protecting a noble woman who had the Demon King sealed within her as she struggles to contain the evil within.
Don't give up! We've overcome every obstacle so far!
I like the art and animation here, where it does talk about doubting your companions, so there are some choose-your-own adventure or visual novel style elements in this as well, looking kind of neat and is worth a play.
This is one of those stories that even the bards won't believe. Love spell number 69! Pay my respects, and I take your life! Ah!
What? You're asking me about having plans? I'm allowed to have a doubt or two.
How can you say that what you saw from your point of view was the truth?
You must be kidding me, Faratros. Why the hell were you so reckless?
Perhaps we can use some of our skills to our advantage.
Looks like that time has finally come!
Unforgivable! All of this is unforgivable! You will pay for this!
Do you seriously believe there was no other way?
My time to shine!
And now, be obliterated!
Getting serious now.
Time for my perfect ploy.
Look at you, struggling like worms!
Surprise! A game that just got a release announcement 1 week plus ago was Glimmer in Mirror, a beautiful hand-drawn Metroidvania title from a Chinese developer, where it plays with the concept of a dark mirror world and reality. I have previewed this in my videos on upcoming Metroidvanias, and people in the comments remarked about a similarity to Ori, where it's equally as beautiful with some good action, although off note is that it will be an early access release. And of course, it goes without saying that we finally get the long-anticipated release of this pixel art action platformer, which I've been keenly looking forward to, where developer Joy Masher is one of the best at the retro pixel art style, where Vengeful Guardian Moonrider looks like an action-packed title that is not afraid to shake things up, looking to have Hagane influence as well. We can watch this video for more great pixel art titles.